Morning, everyone. Wow, I love mornings like this. There's so much to talk about. We're going to jump right into specific stocks because Tesla is macro. At least for today, it is. Tesla's such a huge company, not only quantitatively at over $1 trillion, impacting the NASDAQ, but also the sentiment of how Tesla does, the sentiment impact on the rest of the market is important. So to me, this is the story today. This is the market today. You can see the Nasdaq is up 1.3%. So man, I just love these mornings because this is when you need the four pillars of story trading to understand markets. I've had a lot of fun interactions with people on Twitter, fundamentalists on Twitter, who just don't understand what's going on with Tesla. And of course, if you understand how markets work and if you accept that markets trade not only on financials, but also on sentiment, catalysts, and technicals, then you can actually understand what's going on. I listened to the conference call, the Tesla conference call yesterday. It was awesome. It was brilliant. A bet on Tesla is not just about the trailing financial numbers. It's not just an auto company. This is a bet on Elon Musk, and it's a bet on the future. It's about sentiment and speculation about what this man is going to build for the future of Tesla. And when looked at through that lens, it makes sense. So if you look at Tesla, actually, hopefully, I don't know, there was a guy in the room, Ariel, who predicted that we're going to hit 1050 after hours last night. And man, was he right about that. But look at the significance of that level. You can see it now in pre-market over the 20 DMA. And to me, this is a clear shot. Well, it's already hitting that first resistance in the 1070s in pre-market. Unbelievable. And the next level, I think, is going to be challenging these highs up here in the 1100 to possibly the 1140 range, I think, is in play. That's a nice move above the 20 DMA. So, what is going on here? Qualitatively speaking, what happened on that Tesla call? I mean, there's a few things. First of all, when you get a listen to their business plan, you get a sense for how similar this company is being run to Amazon, right? When there's a problem that their suppliers can't handle, things are too expensive, they solve that problem themselves, right? So it causes them to go into all these other industries. We got robo taxis coming up. We got the Cybertruck coming. There's insurance company talk, which is awesome. They're also a solar company. But what was interesting was extensive discussions about lithium and how profitable lithium companies are and the need for a lot of lithium in the next 10 years, the next decade. And there's just not enough lithium projects out there. And again, not only did they hint at, but man, he really talked about something coming in the next few months regarding lithium that Tesla is going to get into. They're going to try to reduce their own costs, probably get into some sort of lithium mining process or something like that. So, hey, look, these are three lithium stocks I threw up here: LIC, LLKKF, LIACF, and they've all been moving with Tesla. You can see LLKKF and LICF, no action yet because these are pink over-the-counter stocks, so they don't trade till 9:30 a.m. You can see LAC is up 2.5%. And this is definitely already, I think, an underreaction compared to Tesla's almost 10% move. I think you can see all of these stocks lit on fire today. The commentary yesterday gave me a lot of conviction as well to hold these stocks long term. So I already own LLKKF, LICAF, and I actually bought LAC in pre-market today, expecting throughout the day. So I'm going to bring on, there's also a lot of other stuff to talk about. We'll talk about KMI, Netflix, DRIO, but we got special guests from our community, Tony. Tony, welcome to the show. I just want to thank you for your time. I just want to give you 2 minutes. Tell us about lithium stock. Which one is best out of these three? Maybe we threw up here, and why?
Hello, testing 1 2 3. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Perfect. Well, this is a great stock. In 2 minutes, I think that first off, the team is excellent. The CEO is a scientist, geologist. He knows what he's doing.
Which one are you talking about now?
LLKKF.
LLKKF.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's
yeah.
your favorite pick out of these three?
Actually, out of the lithium ones, the ones that I'm aware of and actually own and invested in, done research, is LLKKF.
Okay.
I haven't been able to dive into LIACF. I know you told me about that. Sounds really interesting to me. I can give you a little more on LLKKF.
Okay, let's go. Let's hear the 2-minute pitch on LLKKF.
Well, I mean, it's I wouldn't even consider it a pitch. It's just fundamentally excellent truths as far as this stock is concerned. They've done well. They have off takers like Ford and Hanwha, and yesterday they came on with Hanwha news. They're a large trading company from Japan, and they, on top of signing an MOU for 25,000 tons of lithium, as did Ford yesterday. The news or the update is that now Hanwha is willing to pay up front for that amount of lithium and provide monies as far as any kind of financial assistance as far as getting the whole system set up. So they've transported the demo plant already, and it's basically built out in Argentina, and they're already extracting lithium to test it. So that is what's happening currently. And there's 170,000 acres of this lithium-rich brine area in the area of the world where it's just known that it is a triangle of lithium. Livent, Albemarle is there. All the big, SQM, all the big heavy hitters are in that region, and we're next to Livent. Livent has been extracting lithium for decades at a commercial level. And so direct lithium extraction versus evaporation, meaning that you do not desiccate or dry out the land or the environment around it or the peoples that use that water table. Because when you extract lithium versus the traditional way of getting lithium is that you suck out the water brine and you extract the lithium in real time, and then you pump the water back into the water table so that you don't dry out the land, versus pumping out the brine and then leaving it in massive ponds for the sun to literally dry out, and then you're left with the actual pure salt. Well, not pure, but the salt, which then you have to process for the lithium.
So let me we don't have a lot of time. Let me just ask you this. Someone pulls up the chart here, and you can see it ran from 50 cents to close to $2. Now it's $1.60. Just looking at that price action and the fact that it's $2 billion, and then you see, it's a pink sheet. I mean, those very high, and also it's hard to find news in regular broker apps on this. So tell us why this company is worth more than $2 billion, and why it still could be a good buy after tripling here in the last couple months.
I think it's a great buy because the team, it's if you want more information, you can jump on Hot Copper. This stock is traded as a legitimate, NASDAQ stock in the Australian Stock Exchange, and they're working to get onto the NASDAQ over here. They have legitimate creditors, the UK government credit agency. They have a bunch, they have financial backing with very reputable organizations and companies, two of them being Ford and Hanwha. And so there are a lot of pink sheet companies like Volkswagen and so forth. They're OTC, but as everybody knows, they're reputable companies, and in their own countries, they exchange on that country's, the rep and traditional exchange. So in my understanding, and I know that they are working to get listed on the NASDAQ. So yes, quote unquote. So basically that's that aspect. And so you can look more info if you go to the Hot Copper forum, which is intrinsically linked with the NASDAQ of Australia, which is ASX. And you can find out more information, do more research, follow up on Steve Provenance, the CEO, go to their website, and you can learn and do your own, research and study. But I've been nothing but impressed and happy, and I don't see it going down much further. I don't see it really pulling back at all, because the fact is that lithium right now is basically the next, goal. I mean, oil, it's a paradigm shift. It's not about lithium not being
Yeah, and you
available.
know what? That
Yeah.
if you listen to the conference call yesterday with Elon Musk, he really drove that home, right?
Yeah.
Like he gave me a lot of confidence and conviction holding these stocks long term. So that was
Hmm.
great. Thank you for that overview on LLKKF. Just one note of caution here: as you said, it trades in Australia. So this stock tends to gap up or gap down right at the opening bell at 9:30. So it could be a little bit hard to trade, or if you buy today, you may not necessarily get big moves today because it generally just trades where it closed in Australia, right?
Very good, very true, Ben. Yes. So
Yeah.
so you are kind of locked in into whatever Australia does, but it could work vice versa. It could be that,
Sometimes,
it could
yeah,
work vice
sometimes it
versa
has
too,
its
Ben. Yeah.
intraday moves here, like you saw here
Yeah.
the other day.
Yeah. So it could go up, and that could affect what happens in Australia. But
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If
Mhm.
you want to hang on just 1 second, I want to get your feedback on KMI. So just hang on there. So KMI is a stock that Tony also brought us. I do have a position in. They had earnings last night. You can see it's gapping up 1% at this key psychological $20 level. Last night they beat top line and bottom line. I found the commentary very interesting because now you have an authority talking about the space and natural gas and the impact on Russia. And he couldn't be any more bullish on what that means for the United States picking up that lost supply from Russia, and also what it means for pipeline projects, even here in North America. So very bullish. The other thing that I found very interesting was they did acknowledge upside based on natural gas prices. They're not just locked into their contracts with midstream. They do have optionality upside that comes in when the price of natural gas is higher. And if you look at the guidance, um, they published something which they call budgeted. It said their budgeted earnings for this year, I think, was like $2.5 billion. But then in their commentary, which was not in the press release, they said they do expect to have this optionality, upside to that budget this year because of high natural gas prices, but they refuse to quantify it because they said it's early in the year and also it's difficult to predict. So, Tony,
Mhm.
congratulations on bringing KMI to our community several dollars ago. If people listen to you, they did well. So, tell us your reaction to the earnings.
Oh, I love them. Yeah, I honestly knew that it was going to be. I've been following this company for a while, and I got really excited when they bought Kinetrix, and they bought Stagecoach, which is about maybe a quarter ago. So those guys, especially Stagecoach, which is a massive northeastern storage and infrastructure pipeline acquisition that they did, which is plug and play. That's just completely profitable. It just is. And so, on top of the fact that they're already the largest natural gas infrastructure provider in the U.S., now they have this, northeastern section, and if it's reflected in the revenues, they got over $500 million above street consensus in revenues. That's 540 million on top of what was expected in revenues, which is a lot. It's amazing. I am, I'm trying to kind of tone down, but I'm blown away. That's almost $1 billion more. I mean,
Awesome.
yeah, it's just a lot. So, at any rate, that to me is amazing. That they're paying down their debt. I walked in a little bit, like I told you, a few minutes after they were talking about something about debt, but I read the report, the PDF, and and they're paying down. They're doing great. Their finances are beautiful. Their DCF, working within their distributed cash flow. That's what they're really all about, which is really cool.
Okay.
They're all about DCF and the dividend, trying to up that, but they don't shoot themselves in the foot by giving tons of dividend. They're doing everything really well. And Kinetrix now is also, they're producing natural gas, renewable natural gas.
Yeah,
And
one of the major
that excites me. Yeah.
yep, and one
Mhm.
of the major differences between Kinder Morgan and their competitor here, Enbridge, ENB, is they pay out less in dividend because they're focused more on growth. So that's interesting, and I think given the environment this year, that may pay off for them because they are in the best position to get new projects because they've been investing
Yeah.
in future growth,
It,
not just the focus on the dividend, which is what Enbridge had been doing.
correct. Yes. Infrastructure is gold right now. Infrastructure. The other thing that I like about KMI is that they provide virtual gas pipeline services. In other words, like in Europe, when everything is said and done, their infrastructure shot up, and in Europe, their piping system is cut from Russia. So they're going to need infrastructure, virtual pipelines that can assist these individuals, businesses that are short on natural gas supply. And guess who provides that? KMI. KMI has mobile virtual pipeline services that allow you to have your business, and you may not be linked to this massive pipeline, but you can purchase from KMI equipment and everything pre-packaged so that you can actually have a virtual pipeline linked up to an entire neighborhood, a large business hub, and that's what they do. Now, also, they are in the renewable natural gas production, meaning they're grabbing massive landfills and they're turning that into natural gas. And then they have the beautiful infrastructure. 40% of the US's natural gas flows through their highway. They are the owners of 40% of this nation's natural gas pipeline. Now, this
So,
nation is in
so
hunger, and the natural gas is low in supply and high in demand, and that's going to happen for years because of the low investment that's been done in this region for decades, almost for years.
awesome.
Yeah.
Tony, hate to cut you off, but we got a time limit on this show. So if you want to continue collaborating with Tony, you can do that in one of the VIP chat rooms over at StoryTrading. Tony, thank you so much. We'll continue the conversation on KMI in the rooms.
Yep. Cool.
Thank you. All right. So we're a little over time. Let me see if I can quickly finish this out. So we got Tesla, oh man, we went through all that. So a few stocks. DRIO 627. I just want to point out it closed above the 20 DMA yesterday. And I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks in our rooms. I think this stock may have hit a bottom. I'm trying to get the CEO to come join us and talk to our VIP community soon. Lockheed Martin had earnings the other day. They announced a dividend this morning. Raytheon, another one. This is part of our FANG stocks, right? The new FANG stocks: fuels, agriculture, aerospace, nuclear, then gold and minerals. So Raytheon and Lockheed Martin I have a position in, and Raytheon won some contract yesterday, $1.7 billion. So you can see it's gapping up a little bit this morning. Kodak, my largest position. Look, it's just moving with the NASDAQ. So thank you, Elon Musk. I think he's moving the NASDAQ today. And in turn, the algos will take up those tech stocks, including Kodak this morning. So that's just going to follow the NASDAQ until there's company-specific news that comes out on Kodak, KODK. So we'll be monitoring that. I do want to touch on Netflix again. So we talked about this yesterday, and you can see what's going on this morning. Yesterday, Disney, Roku, they were both down sharply in sympathy with Netflix, possibly indicating that people thought, hey, this is a sector thing going on here. Maybe people are spending less money on stay-at-home things and they're traveling and doing leisure. So all of those stocks got hit yesterday, but you can see the decline is continuing for Netflix this morning, while it's now rebounding for Disney and Roku, which today, at least the sentiment is in pre-market that this is a company-specific issue at Netflix. At least that's a storyline that is. And Bill Ackman from Pershing Square last night, he disclosed he sold his entire stake, took a several $100 million loss. So that's the story with Netflix. And let's see if there's any news that just came in the last 15, 20 minutes while we were talking. And I see BRDS I've been monitoring. That's the electric scooter company. So some news out there if you'd like to look at it. It's really been underperforming. That's a D-SPAC. And I think they may have some balance sheet issues. They may have to raise at the end this year later. So that may be why it's been going down. But in any case, look, today, as I said, Tesla is the market. In fact, let's go look at the macros. We skipped that early, but um, you can see risk assets are up. Bitcoin up 4%, ARK up 3%. And I really attribute a lot of that to the sentiment Elon Musk brings. His, visionary outlook, his 10-year outlook, a very bullish outlook on EV and lithium over the next decade, despite the headwinds the economy might be having right now. So that, I think, is moving up risk assets this morning. And if we look at the QQQ, let's take a look at our moving averages. We do see some resistance here about 346.83. So we'll have to see if it can break that. If it can, it goes up there. I have reservations about this move due to inflation and the possible recession it can cause. So, but look at that. The SPY much healthier. SPY above this morning, the 20 and the 200 DMA. Wow, that's awesome. Now, SPY is a lot more diversified, so they get the benefit of energy stocks being up and infrastructure stocks being up, which the NASDAQ doesn't. So SPY is always a much safer investment. And nothing really else pops out here on the rest of the screen. So, guys, thank you for joining us. Tony, thank you for joining us. I am really super excited, actually, about lithium stocks today. Pay careful attention to LICAF today. It's also a uranium miner. This one tends to lag. I like this one because if LAC and LLKKF are up in the opening few minutes, LICAF tends to lag and then catch up throughout the day. So there's definitely possibly trade opportunities available on that one you can look at as we see Tesla get to 10% right at the end of our show. Thank you, guys. I'll see you next time.